Living under the Israeli blockade for more than 8 years, the problems in Gaza are deteriorating. One of the major problems is the health sector. It's been a disaster, as the Minister of Health stated that hundreds of patients are suffering every year due to the lack of the necessary medical equipment and medicine. There's a lack of 30% of the necessary medications here in Gaza. Moreover, thousands of patients were denied from their right of treatment abroad every year. Electricity is one of the main effects of the continuous blockade on the Gaza Strip. Electricity blackouts here in Gaza also hit hospitals every day, causing thousands of medical equipment to shut down or even to get wrecked. Also, talking about the power generators here in the hospitals, they need hundreds of liters of fuel every day, which is not affordable here in Gaza. During the Israeli aggression on Gaza, the health sector suffered a lot of human rights violations towards its staff. As health workers and paramedics, they should be allowed to move anywhere where there is injuries. However, they suffered a lot, as tens of them were killed by the Israeli bombardments. A lot of ambulances and vehicles which belong to the health sector were targeted and destroyed intentionally. The hospitals were not either excluded from this aggression. 17 hospitals and 26 healthcare centers were targeted and damaged severely. Some of them were completely destroyed. As the aggression went on, there were over 11,000 injuries in Gaza, which was way beyond the actual capacity of the hospitals. That caused a major problem with equipment, medications and medical staff. Also, with a huge number of deaths like this in Gaza, there came another problem during the aggression, which is the capacity of the morgues, which was too short for that huge number, with the inability to bury the deaths because the graveyards are located in dangerous areas near the borders. All of that led to the use of food freezers to cover for this shortage. Aman Palestine was the first NGO to interfere and support hospitals and intensive care units with medical supplies during the aggression, and providing beds to intensive care unit of Al-Shifa Hospital, as well as providing all the necessary needs for the wounded through Al-Salamat Charitable Society. The losses of the health sector in Gaza due to the Israeli aggression were massive. 17 hospitals and 26 healthcare centers were targeted. Al-Shifa Hospital, the biggest hospital in Gaza, was targeted during the aggression, causing it serious damages. Also, the aggression on hospitals continued as the Israeli army targeted Abu Yusuf al-Najjar Hospital in Rafah with multiple bombs, causing it to evacuate all of its patients and staff to smaller hospitals in Gaza. The 11,000 injuries in Gaza are still in need of medical care, as at least half of them have got life disabilities and injuries that need a long time to get healed. The role of Aman Palestine to the health sector and injured didn't stop even after the aggression is over, where it's supporting the wounded financially and providing their needs. What is required in the following stages? Support and finance the rehabilitation projects for the injured during the aggression. Finance psychological and social support projects for the children and people of Gaza to alleviate them from the trauma which they have been through. Funding the hospitals with the necessary medical equipment that is unavailable. Finance the ambulances with the necessary equipment and first aid, especially those targeted in the aggression. Financing and provision of ambulances to health centers that have been targeted. Finance projects to rebuild hospitals, health centers and clinics that have been targeted in the aggression. Financing projects of the adaptation to the surrounding environment for the disabled injuries to enable them from practicing their daily life normally. Providing electric chair for people with disabilities to enable them integrate into society. Finance educational programs for the wounded, disabled and their families to prevent the complications of the wounds and disabilities. Finance projects of conducting specialized surgical operation for the wounded by specialized doctors from abroad. To help rebuild Gaza, please donate. Aman Palestine, Berhad.